The story begins with a boy named Shauna, who is walking at the night and using his smartphone suddenly. He sees people running out of a store, two young girls bumps into him and fall on the ground. Shinya notices a criminal is behind them. He is swinging his knife and wants to kill them. Shinya immediately tries to run from there, but the two girls are scared and not able to run from there, just in the criminal moves towards them to kill them. But Shinya wants to save them and decides to stop the criminal. So he rushes towards the criminal and pushes him to the ground. And he tells the girls to run away from here, however the criminal has stabbed him and immediately runs from there seeing this. The girls come to check him and start crying, but Shinya is happy to save them and feels bad that he has made them cry. Later he wakes up and finds himself in a fancy private room. He wonders if this is a hospital and he remembers that he helped some girls just in the maid sees him and calls him Master Kane. Meanwhile, another lady hugs him asking him if he can recognize his mother, but Shauna is confused because he know them. Suddenly he notices his reflection in the mirror and starts freaking out. He can't understand what is going on where he is and why they are calling him Master Kane. After some time, he calms down and realizes that he is reincarnated. It is revealed that Hua is asleep for a week because of fever his mother feels. He must be hungry and they go to prepare some food for him. He looks at himself in the mirror. He comes to know that he really did not survive and reincarnated as a child into another world. However, he is excited and decides to check his size. Just then the maid sees him making him embarrassed, but he gets lots of information from the maid about himself and his family. He finds that his name is Kane, 3 years old. His father name is Garm and in his mother name is Sarah. Also, he has a sister named Rain who is 2 years older than him, but Sarah is the second wife. The first wife's name is Maria, who has 2 sons. So, Kane is the third son. Garm is a high-ranking noble who has his own army and protects the S4 kingdom. He comes to know that there is force of monsters, the adventurers. To protect the man, some of them can use magic. Also, Shinya is excited to know about this all, and he also wants to try using magic. So he has made up his mind to live out his life here. Because in the world he came from, he was an orphan and lived alone. That's why there is nothing for him to miss. Suddenly, Shinya has decided to study. So his parents are surprised by this, but his father Garm clears that he cannot leave his estate to him. So he has to make his own success in life. Shinya then decides to read books on magic and the kingdom's history because he is more interested in magic, but his sister, Rain, explains that he is not ready for that yet because he also needs to be baptized like her and to wait until he turns 5. No one believes that he can use magic, but Shinya starts practicing it in alone. One day his sister almost caught him doing magic, but fortunately she did not see anything. Rain starts teaching him about the 300-year history of the S4 kingdom and how its first king started as an adventurer before building the kingdom. Then 2 years pass and finally, it is time for his baptized ceremony. Now, he is 5 years old, his parents and sister are very happy because he is looking so cute. Today, he sees the outside world first time, and this is the alternate world he dreamed about in his past life because it has old buildings, soldiers, monsters and even magic. Meanwhile, he asks his sister what it is like to be bestowed with status magic. Rain then opens her status to show him. He looks at it and sees her magic levels, who can use 3 different elements. Moments of magic. His mother reveals that Rain was granted level to protection by the god of magic, but Shinya could not understand about protection and level. His father then explains that magic and protection are attainable and levels 1 through 5. So the higher the level, the higher the user's natural talent. Protection is very handy thing that determines how much magic is needed to activate spell, and it affects skills too, and the god gives protection. Soon, they reach the temple, which is dedicated to the worship of 7 pillar god. Shinya is excited for his baptized ceremony and his sister hopes he gets lots of protection and magic from the gods. As soon as the ceremony of baptism begins, they hear someone is laughing, the statues start shining and they are amazed to see this. Shinya then opens his eyes and finds himself in the world of the gods where the 7 gods reside. All 7 gods appear in front of him, who have waited long for this day. They call him by his old name and he is surprised that the gods themselves show up for a baptism. They introduce themselves one by one and revealed that his death was unexpected. He was protecting 2 young girls from the criminal, but the criminal was going to trip and fall and be arrested. So he was not even needed. However, he died doing a good deed. That's why the god of earth requested to reincarnate him in this world. They thought nursing and diaper changing would cause too much mental torment for him. So they tried to block his memories. But for some reason he recalled them at age 3, Knowing about it, Cain says that they do not need to apologize because since his came back so quickly that he was able to learn how to write and use magic. And most importantly, he is living with his parents and sister. So he thanks them for leaving his memories with him now. Every god grants him their protection magic and skills. Also they promise to meet him again. Cain opens his eyes and his father asks him if he can show them his status, but Cain has a bad feeling about it. So he pretends that his stomach is hurting and runs away from there. He opens his status window and surprised to see this because he has all kinds of magic and protection with level 10. He wonders, what the heck those gods are doing, because he was told that level 5 is the highest level. Now, Cain decides to hide it because he cannot let anyone see it. Just then he finds that the god of creation has given him a status concealed spell. Knowing about it, he thanks him and hides his true magic levels during the dinner. Everyone celebrates Cain's 5th birthday. His father then asks him if he was able to check his status and tell him to show it as Cain opens his magic status. One gets amazed because he has the protection of not just the god of creation but of the 6 other gods too, but Cain forgot to fix his magic power, which was more than 344,000. His father says that even palace mages only have about 10,000, but he is only 4, and even he has item box and judgment too, so Cain can get guaranteed success in anything. However, Rain is very happy to see it, but his father forbids him to show this status to anyone else because it is very promising. It could also be seen as a threat to the kingdom. Also, he forbids everyone to talk about it. After some time, Cain comes to his room and finds a book on summoning magic. He wonders if he will be able to summon fluffy animals because it is his dream. He comes out with this book and starts a summoning ritual. He wanted to summon a fluffy animal, but surprisingly, it is a monster and Cain gets worried to see it. Meanwhile, Rain and Parm are also there. The monster wants to kill them, but Cain comes in front of them to protect them. He remembers how he protected 2 young girls in his previous life, so he again jumps to kill the monster by using his magic. However, the monster punches him hard and pushes him back, but Cain wants to protect Rain and Parma at any cost. Somehow, he manages to cast his summoning spell and returns the monster where it came from there. Cain falls on the ground, and his sister Rain is crying to see him. Cain thinks he has made people cry again and wonders if he is just going to die again. However, he finds him alive and Rain and in Catgirl Parma hug him. Rain thinks he is hurt and decides to call her father, but Cain says that he is fine and feel sorry he scared her, but Rain is glad to see him alive. Cain thinks he made those girls cry that time, but in this world he can help people during the banquet. Cain introduces himself to everyone. He reveals that he wants to go to all kinds of different places. And most importantly, he wants to protect all of their smiles by becoming an adventurer. Watch this video and subscribe to any summary for more Recapsaqu.